And the Prime Minister says he won't be intimidated into changing his government's climate change policies as the bushfire crisis continues. Scott Morrison says Australians expect his government to stick to the plan it took to the last election. Political reporter Jade McMillan joins us now from Canberra. Jade, g'day. So take us through what the Prime Minister's had to say.
Well, the Prime Minister has been under a lot of pressure as this bushfire crisis continues for several reasons. One is that family holiday he took to Hawaii last week, and Mr Morrison says he made the decision to return home to Australia after the deaths of 2 volunteer firefighters in New South Wales, and Mr Morrison met their families and members of their local brigade yesterday. It's not just the holiday, though, that the Prime Minister has been criticised for. Many have argued that these fires should force the government to rethink its climate change policies. The acting Prime Minister over the weekend, Michael McCormack, said he absolutely agreed that Australia should do more. Scott Morrison, though, insists that Australia's plan is responsible. He says that Australia will meet its goal of bringing down emissions by 26% on 2005 levels by 2030, and he says he won't panic or be intimidated into changing the plan that he put to voters at the election.
What we won't do is engage in reckless and job-destroying and economy-crunching targets, which is seeking to be postured to us at the moment, taking advantage of natural disasters, because no Australian would think that the direct policies of any single government in the world is directly linked to any fire event.
Of course.
That's not true.
Of course.
And the challenge of climate change has not changed since May.
Prime Minister Scott Morrison there. Now, the opposition leader Anthony Albanese has picked up on that point made by Mr Morrison about not panicking. He says that people are frightened by what is happening with the bushfires and the government isn't doing enough.
Clearly, this is not business as usual. But Mr Morrison is not listening. He's not listening to the fire chiefs. He's not listening to the science when it comes to climate change. He's not even listening to his own Deputy Prime Minister.
And Jade, what's the Prime Minister doing today?
Well, he's staying in New South Wales. Yesterday he visited the RFS headquarters in Sydney and visited communities south of the city. Today he's headed out to the Central West and is expected to meet firefighters on the ground there.
OK, Jade McMillan reporting there from Canberra.